family and I are building a house in Brooklyn. And I just wanted to, I guess, address the council with some of my frustrations. And I guess communication lapses both on my part and with the city. I'll try to make this as brief as possible, but it starts out with my electric. I talked with the public work director regarding my options on electricity, providing electricity from the overhead power line to my house. I was told at that time that the city, the line in my backyard is overhead, so that if the city would take care of it, putting an overhead cable, wires, with a pole to my new house, which would be fine. I was fine with that, not really all that hot with it because you'd have to go through 2 trees to get there in a direct line. So if that was going to be the option, we'd have to come towards County Road and then back to the house, which makes it longer. I asked him directly if I could put that money towards underground and pay the cost. Nope, if I wanted to go underground, it was my cost. Fine, that's what I was going to do. I went ahead and installed it. Since then, talking with Mrs. Zacher, the city had Jerry Copper go out there and give an estimate for overhead from the pole to my house, yet again going through the 2 trees, 130-foot straight shot, and the city has since agreed to pay me back for what it would have cost $1,300 to put it in overhead. And I spent $24, $26 putting it in underground, so they're going to pay me the $12.96 that it would have cost for overhead, which I appreciate. Okay, before I got that news, then that Saturday after I talked to the public works director, my wife went in to get pool passes and swimming lessons for the kids. We've paid our taxes, building permit. We're going as fast as we can. They said, "Are you a resident of the city or elsewhere?" Told them the story. No, you pay out-of-town rates. It's $30 per kid, so $90 extra on the swimming lessons and $40 extra on the pool pass for a difference of $130, which probably isn't that bad.
Devin, were you living in the city before?
No, we lived in the village.
Have you always been in the village?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I just know where I got that with my head.
Which is, it's $130, but after swallowing the electric bill, here's another one. Okay, so
Haven't you been living in the city since you sold your house?
no, I live in Brackburg right now, renting.
Okay.
Yeah, if we would have moved in with my in-laws, yes, then we would have. But we're renting out of town.
But then you would have been living with your in-laws.
Right, I would have been a resident. I'm not. Alright, so there's kind of the second pill that you swallow, which is fine. So then I come in to pay my $15 electric deposit on my electric meter. You gotta pay a $15 deposit. And sometime since the building permit to now, we have discovered that that lot hasn't paid its $1,000 one-time hookup, water hookup to the city. I did some investigation. It's all hearsay, I understand that, but Dee Watson, that lived there before the house that got flooded, she had a Sandpoint well that was capped when they took the house down. She also, at the time of the building of the Brooklyn Bridge, when the county took that road through there the first time, in the late 50s is what I've been told, I'm not aware of that. When they had it tore up then, Dee had a curb stop put in and a water line put into the basement. We hit the water line both when we dug the basement and when we dug the new water line. The curb stops are 16 inches apart. The old one, which is a copper line all the way into the house, and the new one, which is copper to plastic. There's no record of Dee ever paying the $1,000. She hasn't used any water. So did she pay for that at that time? I guess there's no record of it. And she doesn't remember. So I wrote another check that day to the city for $1,000. Like I said, there's no record of her paying anything. So now, by default, Aaron and I pay it. I guess it's just a little frustrating to me. The lot price went up on us because of the assessment. I don't know how many years ago.
Project, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2009
So that
street
lot,
project.
that lot paid $5,000 to that project already, which brought the curb stop into my property, I'm assuming. And I guess, I don't know, I feel like it's just that $1,000 is another bill. I wrote the check to Mrs. Acker. I asked her if she would just hold it till after this meeting, just because I needed to get some of this stuff off of my chest. The tax base on that lot from 2006 has been anywhere from $860 to $904 a year. Just doing some rough math off the CMS, what my house is going to be, the estimated value, it's going to go from 900 to just right around 4,000. Well, I don't know, I'm not expecting you guys to do anything, I guess. I'd like to get that water check back, but I understand it, kind of. It's just, I guess I'm just a little frustrated. We're still excited to be in the city, it's just harder to be excited, I guess.
So if that was never, the water was never there, you said it was?
Mrs. Watson never paid local water fees there. They use their standpoint all the time. I don't know when the stub-in was put there, but she never hooked up to it when she lived in the house. She never hooked up. So nobody's paid any city water fees in that house.
So, but if the line was there, why should the city charge $1,000?
The city, in 2001, I think, when we created the water ordinance, we created a hookup fee. And at that time, it was $300. Sewer was $1,000, but for some reason, we kept the water one low because we were raising rates at the time, that's why. We were raising rates, we didn't want to raise hookup fees too much either. So from 2001 and now, we've been charging $300 for everybody to hook up to water because you're buying into the system. You're buying into all the years you've lived there and have paid for city water, the treatment plant, the wells, the tower, the pipes in the ground, fire hydrants, everything that gets paid for out of the water fund. We're all paying into that on a monthly basis. So when somebody hooks on new, they have to buy part of that system. So the fee was $300. And back in 2011, and then after the flood, when everybody was replacing their houses, we didn't raise the fees then because we didn't think we should be charging extra fees to people when they were replacing their flood homes. But in 2011, when we were doing rate increases again, then we raised it to $1,000 to match the sewer. That was always the goal, it was going to be the same as sewer. So in 2011, it went up to $1,000 for water. So since that time, anybody that hooks up new to water that's never had water before, that's never paid into the system before, that's what they're supposed to pay. That's the way the ordinance reads, that's the way it is with sewer and water, that's the way the policy reads.
The thing I'm not understanding though is, why was the line there?
We put in all new water all throughout town in the 50s.
Well,
Maybe
what
they
about during the
chose
street,
to
what
put
about
it
the
in.
street project there, Kathy? Was there what
Yeah, there
what
would've
was
been
dealt
a-
with there?
Yeah, they did have everybody that was in the street project got new.
Yeah, but there was
service
nothing there.
connections.
There was no house there.
No, but we did it to empty lots also.
You did?
We did put
Is
them
that,
into
if that's
empty
brand
lots.
new,
It's right next to the one that the old house
Yeah.
was hooked up.
but it's brand new?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
asking,
we
okay,
put
thanks.
those into empty lots, especially lots
Yeah,
that
so you
look
wouldn't
like
have to
they
dig
would
the
be
street
built.
up
Right.
later on when the house was built.
Right,
Yeah, so, and
I
that's
just know we had that much
correct.
foresight.
Mrs. Watson paid the assessment on that. That's just like everybody else on that street that, whether they had water before or not.